please have you state and spell your first and last name for the record?
Do you want me to stand up?
He's standing when he does that part. Sorry. Go ahead.
Mario Diaz.
And may I have you spell it?
Oh, Mario. D-I-A-Z. D as in David, I-A-Z.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Diaz. Now your turn, Mr. DeGiacomo.
Thank you. Mr. Diaz, what do you do for a living?
I'm a filmmaker. I direct documentaries, and I'm also a showrunner for documentaries and documentary series.
What does a showrunner mean?
I'm basically the person in charge of all of the creative. I put together essentially the series from a creative standpoint, and I also, make sure that all of the logistics of filming and editing the piece, just everything runs by me, through me.
At some point, are you contacted by a company to create a documentary related to Death Row Records and the story of its rise and its ultimate fall?
Yes. As I remember, my agent at the time called me and told me that there was an opening for a job directing a 6-part series about Death Row Records for a company called E1. Actually, technically, it was for Creature Films, which is a subsidiary of E1. And so I went and interviewed for it, I think, a couple of times, and I got it.
Prior to you becoming involved in, you got the job, so prior to you getting the job, had E1 contracted with anyone to assist in that documentary?
Yes. Before I came on, there were 2 consultants that were hired. Greg Kading, who was a former LAPD detective, and Mike Dorsey, who is also a documentarian, who has been following this case for a while. The defendant was also on board, I was told, and so was Suge Knight. They had agreed to participate.
And you kind of motioned in this direction. Do you know the defendant, Dwayne Davis?
Yes.
And you recognize him here in court?
Yes.
Can you, I don't make you go through all this. Is it this gentleman right here?
Yes.
May the record reflect the identification of the defendant, Judge?
Yes.
Let me ask you this. Once you actually took over the job, did you learn whether or not the defendant was being compensated for his role in participating in this documentary?
I was made aware that he was being paid, yes.
And ultimately, at the end of the day, who's the person who finally provided him the money?
I was not in charge of the money per se. Somebody else was cutting checks. There was some, there's usually a protocol for that, and so I don't remember exactly who it was. I know that I at one point actually handed him a check.
That was my question.
Yes, yeah.
You're the one.
Somebody gave it to me, and I made that handoff.
I know it's been some years now. Can you give us an approximate amount of money Mr. Davis was compensated for his participation?
I don't remember the exact amount at all, but anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000, I would imagine.
And for that compensation, did you conduct interviews on camera with Mr. Davis?
Yes.
And how many formal interviews did you conduct with Mr. Davis?
We did 2 interviews in the summer of 2017. I believe that they were maybe weeks apart from each other, and they were probably around 2 hours and change each.
And there would have been a camera rolling for the interview. Well, let's talk about the setup. Describe for me how you had this set up for the interviews.
We maybe did, 30, 35 interviews for the entire series. We're filling up 6 hours of material for broadcast. So we did upwards of 30 interviews, and we mostly did them in a studio that the production company E1 had in the building. And we asked Mr. Davis to come and to our building. We set up 2 cameras, and he basically sat across from me, and I asked questions.
Did you have anybody to, did you have a subject matter expert as well that you were able to communicate with during the interview?
So yes, the aforementioned Mike Dorsey was there during the interview. He wasn't in the room; he was in a separate room, and I had him in my ear. So he would sometimes, we would communicate. I would sometimes text while the interview was happening, just to corroborate certain things that Mr. Davis was saying.
And Mr. Dorsey, did he have the ability to hear what was going on inside the room?
Yes. Yeah. He had his own little speaker setup.
And did you subsequently learn that he had his own recordings of your interviews that were audio only?
Yes.
At some point, you wind up making this documentary. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Now, to promote this documentary, let me ask you this. Do you know what a sizzle reel is?
Correct. Yes.
What is a sizzle reel?
Well, a sizzle reel is traditionally used we put together like a little trailer of sorts with existing materials about whatever the subject matter is. And that sizzle reel is used to entice buyers to essentially pay for the production of the series or whatever it may be, documentary, one-off. So in this case, there was a sizzle reel made.
And did that sizzle reel get made prior to your involvement?
I believe so, yes.
And you, obviously, once you became involved, did you wind up using some of that sizzle reel to kind of promote each episode of the Death Row?
I don't remember that we did that. It was only used for it was used by the producers to drum up interest in the series.
Last night, did you meet with me?
I did.
And did you watch the sizzle reel?
Yes.
Judge, I have the sizzle reel marked as State Proposed Exhibit 120. I would offer it at this point.
Any objection, Mr. Swift?
No objection. All right.
It'll be in minute.
You can switch it on to me.
I was at 180 CBD days. I was a confident, kingpin drug dealer. I'm the only one alive that really can tell you the story about the Tupac Shakur. People have been pursuing me for 20 years. Newspapers, magazines. I'm coming out now to tell the story because I got cancer. I got nothing else to lose. All I care about now is the truth. This story starts in the streets of Compton, all the way to the streets of Las Vegas when Tupac was killed that night. All the people that was in Vegas that weekend, it's like a curse. Mostly everybody is dead or got life in prison. It was a crazy night, and I was a witness to everything that happened. And it will surprise you, the truth I got to tell you. It's a
episodes of Death Row Chronicles did you, who named it Death Row Chronicles?
I think I did.
Okay. So the documentary you wound up creating was Death Row Chronicles.
Yes.
And did it air on a station?
Yeah, it was on BET.
And BET is a network.
Yes. Black Entertainment Television.
And how many episodes ran?
We did 6 episodes, roughly an hour each.
And prior to episode 5, is there any audio or video that was produced or shown to the public of Mr. Davis?
I think he's in it very briefly in a little promo that we show at the very beginning of the series, perhaps. I don't remember exactly. And he was also there to talk a little bit about Suge. They grew up together.
Do you, when you get to episode 5, is that the point where you're about to tell? I guess episode 6, is that when you tell the story of?
Right. So the series really looks at the entirety of Death Row Records' history. From the very beginning with Suge Knight. We introduced different characters, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, etc. And then when we get to episode 5, we really delve into, well, a little bit in episode 5, but mostly in episode 6, we really delve into the investigation. We wanted to update the public as to where the investigation had been up to that point.
And within those episode 5 and episode 6, is Mr. Davis seen, or some of his interviews with you released to the public?
Yes.
In addition to the fact that Mr. Davis is on there, did you have access to the 2008 proffer recording?
I did.
And so when you produced episode, in particular 6, are there times when Mr. Davis is on the screen and other times when you're using the proffer to tell the story?
Yes. Yeah, we alternated between the interview that I conducted with him and the audio from the proffer that he did in 2008.